So now you know what a database is and hopefully how to narrow down your choice to the correct database. But you need to know the basic search fundamentals. So here we are in Academic Search Complete to go over some database basics. And right off the bat, down here on the left, you'll see that the full text icon is already checked for you in Academic Search Complete. Full text is critical. Checking that box tells any database that you want only articles you can access at home from your computer, and it'll throw out all the citations that don't have an actual article attached. Right below it, you're going to see the scholarly or peer-reviewed journals indicator. Checking that box throws out all the popular materials like People Magazine or Rolling Stone and leaves behind just the scholarly publications you can use to write your paper. Almost every database is going to have those two limiters. Okay, over here to the bottom right are another few common limiters. First off is the publish date. So you can look at a specific year or a date range going back as far as the database will go. That's a good way to narrow down. You can also narrow down by publication type. You could say just show me periodicals instead of newspapers or book reviews or something like that. And most commonly, up here at the top, you've got search modes. In Academic Search Complete, like most databases, does Boolean or phrase searching, which sounds super scary, but I'm going to show you how easy it is. Starting with phrase searching, all phrase searching means is when you're using a phrase like birth control in my example, put it in quotes. That tells the database you're specifically looking for the phrase birth control. Without the quotes, it thinks you want the words birth and control to appear in any order throughout the article, which is a very different search. We could apply this to anything. White House, same deal. Without the quotes, it would find any article that mentions both of those words. Berlin Wall is another good example. The more common your words are within that phrase, the more important it is to put the quotes around it. There are a lot of articles in Academic Search Complete that has over 5,000 total titles that would have the words white and house in them without talking about the actual White House. Same goes for birth control, same goes for any common words that are within one phrase. So that's all phrase searching is. And we'll use it to illustrate Boolean logic. Boolean logic sounds crazy, but it's not, and I'm going to show you an example search. I'm going to do a phrase search for global warming, and you'll notice that we got 14,175 hits. Now, mind you, we did not limit to scholarly, and we did not set a year limit, so we got those hits over a myriad of years going back to 1923. So what we need to do is add an additional keyword, and we're going to do it using a Boolean term. And in our case, it's and. So all we're going to use Boolean terms for is to narrow down. So we can say global warming and a phrase search for the United States, and you'll see right here that we've taken our search results all the way down to 2,856. If we add and pollution and search again, our search results are all the way down to 326. So using the Boolean operator and to narrow down is really helpful. You just add additional keywords to narrow down your search results. And you'll see that in those 326, because we haven't set any kind of a scholarly limiter, a lot of these at a glance mixed in with the academic journals. You have regular periodicals. We changed the date from 1923 by narrowing down, but still our oldest article comes from 1956, I believe it was, up at the top. So there are additional ways to narrow down, but your most core critical tool is to use that Boolean operator and in between several search words or phrases to narrow down your results. Now, if we do click scholarly, and let's say since we're talking about global warming, we want recent stuff. If we'll do scholarly for the last 10 years, we'll jump from 326 all the way down to 47 here. So there's a bunch of ways to narrow that are pretty easy. But again, using that Boolean operator and is a critical thing to remember to do. The databases only understand Boolean logic, so we can't type in articles about global warming in the United States and its effects on pollution. We have to do it the way I did it in this search, in little keywords separated by and. Now, and is not the only Boolean operator. There's a couple of other ways to do it too. And let me go back to our main search screen here to illustrate this to you. And is for narrowing. So remember, we had 14,000, so we wanted to narrow. But let's say for whatever crazy reason you wanted more search results. That's when you use or and a synonym. So climate change is kind of like global warming. If we do global warming or climate change, it'll tell it we'll take either one, and now we get a staggering 41,522 results. So if you ever do a search where you're not getting enough results, that's when you want to use the Boolean operator or and a synonym to tell the database you'll take either of those two things. That'll expand your results like we did right there. The third common Boolean operator is the word not. And what not is going to do is throw out a keyword. So you see in number 2 there, it mentions a cyclone. So let's say there had been a recent cyclone and we were only getting articles about that. If we say global warming not cyclone and hit search, you'll notice it dumped that article, and we lost about 100 results. Every one of those articles had mentioned the word cyclone. So by clicking not cyclone, hitting search, it tosses that. And I realize this is all complicated, but please remember, up in the right hand corner of this and every database there's a help menu that'll walk you through all this stuff, or call us at the library.